Well, I'm on the farm today, and skies are blue. Hadn't been that way all day. I think we got a little bit of rain up here. I don't know how much. It couldn't have been too much because everything looks like it's trying to be dried up. But we'll go out here and check this hay, and we got to pull some more kicker wagons around, get a couple of them out of my barn, and get them over here. And then I want to ted this hay. And then tomorrow night I'll probably just rake it up. But let's go over here and see how wet this hay is. One thing I like to do when I'm walking in a field is just kind of kick my feet in the grass and see if any water is on the sole of on the toe of my shoe. Doesn't look like any there. I gotta believe if it was rain, this would be soaked. There's definitely some moisture in there, and but it feels dry on top. Can't tell if that's just from laying here overnight, but it looks good, smells good. Let me get the Massey Ferguson 50 out and see if we can deal with this hay. See if the Massey Ferguson Model 50 will start. It's always helpful when a tractor starts. And no flat tires. Normally I'd go up to that little white building there and cut across, but I don't want to run across the hay that I've cut. So we're going to kind of go around the perimeter of the field. So we push these wagons in here and unload them. And the way I like to snatch them out, is to hook that chain right there, get myself up off the ground, hook the other end right there, and then back it out. Now I'm here by myself, so what I'll do is I'll back it out a little bit, then I'll go up front and turn the tongue, and I'll go out, back out like that, and then I'll hook it to the back and take it on around to the field. My chain's always crooked. That's okay. Alright, now what I'll do is I'll straighten out and rehook the chain and give my tongue a nice turn. I leave the tongue down. Once I get out of the barn, it really doesn't matter. And I just kind of pull this thing out like so. Sometimes I can do that and it'll snap right off, but not always. This is not a very big chain, but it's been really handy on this farm. And then the other one, I got to pull out in that direction. And you can see we've been stacking some hay in here off of these wagons. This hay is sold. A lot of times we use ribbons to mark the hay and kind of segregate one field from another one. But what I did this time is I just turned some bales on their side, and that tells me this is from a different field than this one. But all this hay is sold pending a forage test result, which I ought to get back today, and all the hay along that wall is sold. Let me get hooked up to this wagon. So this wagon running gear right here has been used and abused before I got it. I'm not sure exactly what brand it is. It might be an Alice Chandler's wagon too. The other one I got in there is an Alice Chandler's, but maybe not. But it's still a pretty heavy wagon. But somebody, I don't know, they did a number on the tongue, and the clevis on this wagon is not wide enough to fit over the drawbar and have any flex. It works on the baler hitch just fine. One of the things on our round to it list is to redo this so that it's got a much wider clevis on it. So the workaround is, if I can get this thing to work, the workaround is we have a pin here with a couple of washers. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to set this camera down so you can see it, but well, maybe not, but the hole for that pin is right there. So what I do is I just take the Massey Ferguson, and I can generally give it a little bit of a shove and push it right in there. Let me set this camera down so you can see it. And just like that, the pin's in. Now, to keep it from pulling out, what I do is I put a washer on it, and one of these things, and I try not to overcome with diesel fumes while I'm down here on the Massey 35, because it can pump out some unburnt diesel fuel at idle. So let me kick this thing into high range, second gear, and we'll take this trailer to the field. This is one handy tractor. It's not an ideal arrangement, but it works. So do what you got to do to get on with your work on a farm, including jury rigging a hitch. There's the board I knocked loose with a bale on this kicker wagon. Obviously I need to fix that. And then what you do here is you take that pin loose. Put the washer back on. Put the pin back in. And then lay it up here, lay it right in there for when you need it the next time. Alright, I'll fetch you out of the wagon. I won't bore you with the details on that. When I come back again, we'll be putting the tedder on this Massey Ferguson. Alright, I got the third wagon over here, and I can't imagine we'd need more than that for this little patch of hay. And we're going to go hook up the Vermeer tedder rake. Alright, I got the Vermeer hooked up. And if you can see a little bit of blue smoke down near the bottom of the Massey, that's the unburnt diesel. I don't know. I think that tractor probably needs injectors. Probably needs a lot more than that. But what I'm doing now, if you're new to the channel and you're not familiar with this rake tedder, this is a Vermeer TR90. And it's a rake tedder combo, and it's really a Lely 300 Combi. And Lely and Vermeer had a thing going, and they brought them into this country and painted them yellow, slapped Vermeer stickers on them. And in any event, you can take these cages off. They'll actually flip over, but I like to take them off. And when you take them off, you basically have a tedder. And there's a lot of rake and tedders out there, combos, over the years, and some of them are good, maybe some of them are not so good. I'm of the opinion this rake tedder combo is as good as it gets. And I'll try to do this while I'm talking, but it's easy to change out from rake the tedder. And the beauty of it is twofold. One of them is when you go to rake your hay, a lot of times we have a conventional tedder on this farm. It's got some gearbox problems, but when you go to rake your hay, a lot of times we would tedder hay before we would rake it, just to kind of get a little extra dryness in it. You essentially do that anyway, but it's got but it sweeps it into these cages and gives you a really, really nice fluffy windrow. Now, my new Harbor Freight wrench for this Massey Ferguson. But the thing about it is, you take those cages off, and then these hook tines, it has these hook tine tethers, which are really nice, and you can use your thumb and push down right there. This is in the rake position right now, but you move it over to this slot and it becomes that's the tedding position. And why that little bit of difference makes a difference, but it does. So let me move these things around and I'll come back with the camera and we'll be ready to ted some hay. So the other nice thing about this tedder rake combo is if you choose to do so, you can put it on one tractor and leave it, and you got a rake and a tedder. You don't have to take an implement off and put one back on. We take this one off so we can push our kicker wagons, pull them out of the fields and put them in our barn down there. And but we'd like to add another, actually we'd like to add 2 more tractors. One about the size of a Massey 175. I would settle for a 165. A 280, I'm sorry, a 275 would be nice. Something bigger than this. And then I would like to add another tractor that's on the order of like a International 766 or an 886. I even looked at 966s before I bought my 1105, but would like another big tractor so that if for whatever reason our crone mower conditioner goes down, we got something that can run it. So let me go on out here and we'll start tedding some hay. They're going, and let this thing down. Ted out a little bit of hay. What do you say? I'll check back here in just a little bit. The tedder's doing a nice job picking up the hay and giving it a decent throw. This is a nice field to run hay equipment in. There's a few groundhog holes, but I kind of know where they are, even though I still hit them. With a 2-basket tedder, you basically do one row of you know, one windrow off of the cutter. My cutter's 9 foot. And trying to run my right side tire against this windrow to my right, and then I catch this one right here under my left tire in its entirety. And that kind of lays the hay up against the windrow that we just tedded to the left to some degree. So let me stop here for a second. You can see how the hook tines are just barely touching the grass. According to the manual, they want them to rub the ground for about a foot across the front. And of course, the reason that is if you're making an arch, you don't have it's not like a roller bar rake where you got a flat going all the way across picking up the hay. So you're kind of digging into the stubble a little bit to broaden your reach from side to side. But I don't like to set it down on the ground. I set it up about that high. Depends on the stubble, and I'll also consider whether or not it's trying to pull green grass up in the hay. But I thought I'd walk up in here. Obviously you can see where I haven't tedded, and then you can see over here where I have. And you know, this Vermeer does a really nice job, I think, of spreading out this hay. And you know, it's still new to us. We've had it for probably this is our second season with it, so in a lot of ways we're still kind of getting used to it and its nuances. But what I've discovered on the Massey is second gear high range, about 400 RPMs, PTO, 400 PTO RPMs, not throttle RPMs. And the tedder seems to be gathering all of the hay, and it seems like the more hay it gathers, the more it bunches up, as you can imagine. And the hook tines grab it, and it really gives it a toss, which is, you know, which is nice. And this is grass hay, it's not a legume, so we don't have to be like super gentle. But I don't know that we're really rough on the hay anyway. But this Vermeer is just really nice machine, I think. Let's get back to tedding. Alright, I've finished heading this field. And I think I mentioned I go 2nd gear high range, and the tines seem to pick up the hay pretty good at that speed. And seems like the more you crowd that tedder, the better it grabs the hay and throws it. It's kind of hard to explain, but seems like kind of like a snow thrower. The more snow you throw into it, push into it, the harder and the further it throws it. And so the Vermeer did a really nice job here, and the Massey Ferguson. The other reason for going 2nd gear high range is, you know, let's get on and off this field. I'm not looking to race around, but you know, if it's not gonna do damage to my equipment, and I don't think it is, let's just get on and off the field, and let's get the stuff raked or tedded. And you know, that's the challenge when you're baling hay by yourself. You know, if you come out here, and you got to have enough daylight to rake the hay, and then you got enough daylight to bale the hay. Now, on this little patch, my intent is not to rake the hay the day I bale it. So this is a Wednesday night. I cut this on Tuesday night. This is a Wednesday night. My intent is to be up here tomorrow evening and rake this hay. As I mentioned, basically that Vermeer is a tedder with a set of cages on it. So the beauty of it is it teds while it rakes. So that it does a nice job of fluffing everything up, basically tedding the hay and raking it in the single pass. So my goal tomorrow is to rake this up, and then when I get here on Friday afternoon and start baling, I'm anxious to see if it's you know, if it's still dry. And of course I hope, you know, we don't get any showers either. But I thought we might have had a little bit of rain up here today, and we might have had just a brief shower. But you know, when I look at the hay, and I look at the tires on the Massey Ferguson Model 50 here, not only is there no water on the wheels, there's really no dew. The dew has not come yet, which kind of surprised me, but it definitely helps as far as you know, not throwing the hay down on wet ground, and then having that moisture to have to get through the hay and back up into the atmosphere. So had a pretty good day of it. It's been kind of a long day with the day job. Massey Ferguson 50 with the Perkins 3-cylinder diesel, and the Vermeer TR90, which, as I've said only 1,000 times now, is the same as a Lely 300 Combi. Excellent machine. And that's kind of the video for today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, raking a little bit of hay, and then of course we'll get a video baling too. So that's it for now, and hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.